1337 FM.
Nerd!
Hack Radio.
Engage.
And welcome to 1337 FM Nerd Talk Radio. I'm Mark Langell.
I'm Matt Flowers.
And today we have a special guest with us on the line, Mr. Jeffrey Finch. Sorry, there's no R in his name. It's not like Chicago. Say hello, Mr. Finch.
Hello, Mr. Finch.
Was there a delay in audio?
I'm not sure. I left maybe a second's worth of delay on my end when I said that. But I don't know if we have a direct delay between you and I, or Yins and me, or however that grammatically would be.
There wouldn't be any delay because there's none between me and my wife, and she's in England when we FaceTime and stuff. So
yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I don't think there was any delays on previous podcasts that I did where Matt, was on the phone. So okay.
2 in the morning, we're talking about like history, and I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
The Red Baron and other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Jeff is actually coming only in on the right channel.
Well, it's better than the wrong channel.
So if people only wearing one headphone to walk around listening to this, they're going to be a little bit. They're going to be wondering what happened. Put in the other headphones, people. If you don't hear another person talking during that whole section, then put in the other headphone. It'll
honestly,
sound a lot
Mark,
better.
I don't think that's exactly how it works. I think it will. The signal will get split to the left side whenever Matt goes to edit this.
And
that he can pan it left or right or whatever. But I would have to ask if you guys are okay with Tech Talk, being this is Nerd Talk Radio. I would love to get some insight on how you have your tablet set up with your mixer and how you're recording, and I'd like to kind of compare it to how I have mine set up with my podcast.
Basically, we're recording on a Windows laptop, a very old Windows laptop, but a Windows laptop. Well, no, it's not that old because I'm running Windows 10 on it, so it's still able to. That's what I'm using to record, and the audio coming in from your call is actually coming through my tablet. So basically, I have the tablet hooked into a bunch of little plugs for to really go over it. I don't understand it. I just know that it works because it's mix minus. So that's how I've got it worked out right now. And
that's good. That's how mine works as well. I run a mix minus setup through my mixer through my laptop as well, and then I use 2 computers whenever I set up. I use the laptop for phone calls, and then I use my Mac desktop for other things. I do not record on my computer though. I actually do my recording with a separate recorder. I have a Zoom H5 that I use for that.
A Zune?
Zoom.
Oh, Zoom. Okay.
No, Zoom. Yeah. ZOOM.
Yeah.
You mean Z?
I can't remember. ZOOM. Yes, for you somewhat northernly folks and / French influenced folks. Yes, ZOOM.
Yeah. So. I lost my train of thought there for a second.
Sorry.
We're talking tech.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way, but I mean, all things slowly. For us, where we live, because I listened to the episode of where you and the other gentleman were talking and wondering about how us Northerners do things, and well.
Speaking of which,
I was thinking about it.
Keep in mind that we joke around a lot too. You guys had mentioned in a previous podcast that I asked a question about you guys seeing a specific movie, and you mentioned that it's a long time for you to get anywhere because you guys really are isolated. And I guess I knew you were isolated, but you're much more isolated than I ever originally thought. I took the time to sit down and look at Google Earth, and I'm like, holy cow, these guys are really out there.
We are very far away.
So don't take offense to anything we said. We were goofing and kind of just talking about it, but.
I know you're silly Americans, that's fine. I understand you're kind by now.
I'll accept that.
Now, okay, now you said, well, somebody went and seen Hacksaw Ridge.
I think Mike
did.
Yeah.
It was Mike that went and seen
Hacksaw
Hacksaw Ridge. And Mike did see it in a theater, because we do have a theater 20 minutes away from us in Quebec. The problem is that this theater doesn't get the movies until months after their release.
But Hacksaw Ridge wasn't that long ago.
Hacksaw Ridge was out in late
Like
2016.
Was it really?
I think
Yes.
it was. Yeah, I think it was like late summer into the fall or something.
Yeah.
Like it
Really?
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like just last month or anything.
Yeah, those movies that we get at that theater are out on Blu-ray in 2 weeks usually.
Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge is on Blu-ray up in Walmart
It's
now.
on Blu-ray
Yeah, it
right
just
now.
came
So
out
that's
recently, yeah.
yeah. So for a lot of us, it's basically okay. I could go to Fairmont and watch it now, or I could wait 2 weeks and
Or you can,
watch it on Blu-ray at home.
there's a guy he can hook you up with a certain little something, and you can watch all kinds of new things.
Well,
But
I mean,
let's not discuss
that's
that.
a good thing about being a Canadian too, right? It's not as the laws aren't as
They're a little more lax up here.
yeah, a lot more lax actually.
Yeah, I should definitely move up there.
Yeah, it's well, I mean,
Maybe not to where you are.
not
just
to where
kidding.
we are.
Well, the only place you're going to make as much money here is Alberta.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the thing. That's the only thing that anyone is ever in this area for. There's a huge iron ore mine, and this is basically one giant work camp.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And you make really good money, and I mean,
I mean,
the lowest median wage has to be more than $50,000.
But the
I
thing is,
think
you
the
can
person
start-
working at McDonald's makes more than $50,000 a year
Yeah.
here.
Holy cow!
And that's the thing. You
More.
can work in the mine, and starting off $42 an hour.
If you can get onto the mine, it's $42 an hour.
Now, see, there's a
That's-
reason these people up here are so isolated, and the reason the people are here is because money.
money,
No?
money, 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 money.
Oh no, I mean I understand that. I mean, like where you guys are located and the fact that you're so far from anything really is I mean, there's obvious reasons, and resources and mining and that sort of thing is definitely the kind of reasons why people live in such places.
Yeah,
if you look
that's
like
exactly it.
Siberia or something, who the hell wants to live in Siberia? But there's a hell of a lot of oil in Siberia, so there's a lot of towns that spring up to to get the oil. So that makes total sense.
That is the Americanest thing I've ever heard. Why don't you go free Siberia?
We're not going to build a wall.
sounds like Siberia needs a little freedom.
Yeah.
America.
Liberated
Russia
from
would
itself.
Absolutely
Goddamn polar
destroy
bears.
you guys. They destroy absolutely everyone. What am I saying?
Who does?
Russia.
There's a lot of countries
Yeah,
that
but-
could destroy everyone if they
My
really
cousin
wanted.
lives in Russia right now.
I'd be terrified if I was him.
He wants to get the hell home
terrified and
so
or drunk.
much. Oh, he is. He just wants to be home. He texted me the other day and said, "Do you got a job for me? Please tell me you got a job for me."
Is the gas station's hiring?
Gas station. Well, I mean, like I said, McDonald's $50,000 a year.
Well,
So, but
Just
I mean,
Russia being
that's
cold,
ridiculous.
eating
that's-
borscht all
and
the time.
and that's the thing. It's you would think that a $50,000 job anywhere else is like, damn, that's good.
That's middle class.
That's middle class. That's low class where we live.
not low class. It's sort
Well,
of average.
50,000?
Eh,
You make more than 50,000.
Yes, I do,
I know
but-
you do. Because if you make anything like me, I make over 50.
yeah, I make over 50.
I mean, easy.
I
You guys
don't-
are blowing me out of the water. I mean, I don't make that kind of money.
well, I mean, it's our
now-
dollar compared to yours. So.
It's yeah.
Right, and it's about a 30% difference or so. So 50,000 in Canadian probably works out to maybe a little less than 40,000 in American money.
Yeah.
38.
Just off the top of my 38. So yeah, that's $38,000 where I live is not bad. I mean, my wife and I together make about that, maybe a little better in a year. But we also live well within our means. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We're
yeah.
not big spenders. I mean, I do once in a while splurge on audio equipment or Nintendo or something of that sort. But
Some
you
sort
know,
of
in my
gimmicky
area-
Nintendo consoles, this, that, and that.
yeah, and I'll be more than happy to discuss Nintendo here in a little bit. But yeah, it makes sense. I guess the cost of living where you're at is probably a lot different than what it is here,
It's
where I'm
a-
at.
I mean,
It's a give and take because our food is more expensive.
Let's be trucked in.
It has to be trucked in, but
Sure.
well, I don't know about our living quarters now because our home expenses were getting up there, but for the most part, there's a lot of houses on the market again because there was a decrease in iron ore pricing, and it really went down.
Cascaded.
So now there's a lot of empty houses, so you'd be able to buy a house here. I mean, there would be some expensive houses, but I can see somebody getting something for $250 if they were looking.
Do you remember Dr. Mayanga's house over in Wabash?
I've never seen it. No.
It's like this huge A-frame. It's a beautiful house, but for like the longest time, it was $500,000.
And nobody's going to buy it.
And it's only, I mean, it's 2.5 stories, like 5 bedroom, 3 bathroom.
But he's a doctor too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew his son.
Was he the only doctor in the area?
No. We got lots of doctors.
We got lots of doctors.
We got a big old.
The doctors come here for the same reason we do. Doctors get paid a lot here.
They get paid a lot here. Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's a northern. They get northern benefits.
Like once you live so far in isolation in Canada, you get what's called, I think it's called Northern Allowance.
Yeah. Plus, we have this thing called free healthcare.
Yeah, and it's nice, isn't it?
It is. So when somebody makes fun of me being a Canadian, I just go up and get my feelings checked for free. So it's all right.
But genuinely, I can't imagine not having health insurance in the States.
Yeah.
And I heard of a story.
I know.
I played WoW with a guy who, his father was like a carpenter, and he was in his driveway, a table saw was going, and he did something. I think he tripped or rolled an ankle, and when he did, he sawed off the pinky and ring finger on his right hand.
Okay.
And I was like, obviously. And they took him.
He just went, you're gonna lose a finger. What the fuck?
It's only a finger.
It's only a fucking finger.
Wrap a little tape around it and be on his way. He'll be fine.
Well, he picked him up and he went to the hospital, and they're like, okay, the pinky is. I don't remember the exact figures, but it was like the pinky is like $12,000. The ring finger is like $38,000 put back on. And buddy's like,
to put it back on.
Just patch it up and send me home.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, just patch me up. I don't even want him anymore.
No. Well, and they'll never be the same. You'll get arthritis in them. They'll hurt every time.
Funny.
And it'll look funny. You can't pick your nose no more. Because it'll be a total wrong angle, right?
But once it's fully severed, the tendons are then gone. So is there a way to reattach tendons? I don't even know. Because they don't reattach naturally.
I don't know.
They are reattached, yeah, because there are people. I know somebody who lost a finger, lost about half of his index finger some years back. It got chopped off right at the middle knuckle, and they were able to reattach it, and he now has full use of it. It looks a little weird, like there's like a weird angle that it's attached at. It's not perfectly straight like you would expect, but basically, if you discount the scar that's there, it just looks like somebody who at one time maybe broke his finger. And it's fully functional. I mean, he can pick his nose and whatever else he's got to do with it. And,
his girlfriend enjoys it.
Yeah, he can use that pointer finger to
he's got girth.
People, to point at them and to make fun and whatnot. But no, it's the health thing in America is just such a touchy subject right now. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not on top, 100% on top of all the politics involved.
I'd rather not get into politics, actually, to be honest, because
I'd
I hear
not
so
either,
much of it everywhere else. I want.
Oh, no kidding! Detach. And here where I'm at, and it's what you hear times 20. I mean, it's nonstop. Every person that you talk to. Yeah, everybody wants to talk to politics, and and I'm okay with talking politics for the most part. And people who listen to my podcast know that. But yeah, I'd rather not discuss that too much today. But
we're not doing a politics podcast, really.
Yeah, this is not politic talk. This is nerd talk. So let's nerd out.
Yeah.
I
was thinking, because I obviously listened to the episode, and there are, and are we really some of the first Canadians that you really talk to on a regular basis?
To be honest, yeah, Matt is for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And just real quick, just to preface, anybody who's listening who doesn't know, I do host a podcast called the Jeff Finch Experiment, and I know you guys plug it all the time. Thank you very much for that. That's awesome. Yeah. And but also, a lot of people might not know. A lot of your audience might not know that I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, near Pittsburgh. I live about 30 minutes west of Pittsburgh.
When you go to the bar, when women go to the bar, they always the good-looking women go to the bar. They always bring an ugly friend. Just to make them look better. That's why we plug you.
makes perfect sense. You guys are the ugly friend, and I'm the sexy guy, so it makes you look so much better to be associated with me. So I appreciate that. That's a compliment.
Yeah, you did. You kind of opened that door and just let him
because
walk
that was
right
going to
through.
go one of two ways. So.
Yeah. But
I can be witty at times.
yeah.
I have my moments.
so is there? Because I mean, I've actually
You mentioned
been
you having Canadian
to,
friends or whatever.
I've been to Philly. I've been to Pittsburgh, Philly,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
You don't wanna
I haven't
say
been
that
down.
It's
Like
not-
you're more in the country, aren't you? Your town.
Philadelphia. Get it right.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. It was dirty. It is
It's a
very
nasty
dirty.
city.
Did you see
It
the
is
big
very
bell?
dirty. No,
Did you see Will
because
Smith?
no,
The Liberty Bell.
no, we didn't. We didn't go. I was only there for a weekend, and when I went
Why?
out, it was for a conference, like a comic book
Okay.
conference. At the time, I was living in Ottawa, and I went out with my friends, and we were pretty much the only time we really went out of the hotel area, the conference place, was when we went. We went to a Dick Blick's. Yes, I just said it. We went to a Dick Blick's
Is that
art
like a
supply
gay bar?
store. It's an art supply store.
Oh, okay.
My friend used to say Dick Blick, the man with the blick dick. But anyway, we went to Dick Blick's and Philly Mark, which is what the guy from the Mark from Philly, they all called him, because I'm Ottawa Mark.
Oh,
At the time, I was Ottawa Mark. He was Philly Mark, because you couldn't just say Mark, or his last name was
Sure.
I don't know, Long or something. Anyway, he took us to that store to go pick up some art supplies, and yeah, it's pretty dirty. He actually went to Ottawa. He came into Ottawa for a vacation, and we went. Well, him and another friend, because he was friends with this other feller, and they went for a drive, and they went into the Ottawa ghetto. And when they drove into the Ottawa ghetto,
Totally different, I'm sure.
they pulled up, and Dennis, another friend from Ottawa, he said, "Okay." He said, "What? Where? I thought we were going to the ghetto. You're in the ghetto." He's like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, this is an Ottawa ghetto." He said, "No way, this is a ghetto, because it's way too clean." He said, "This is ridiculous."
people bump into you. They only say sorry once.
They only say sorry once, not twice.
That's
And-
Canadian meme right there.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah, so
Canadians say sorry a lot.
we
do. I gotta
do
admit,
actually.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
The missus that was walking
Well,
through
I
the
mean,
mall
it
tonight.
makes sense. You have a lot to apologize for.
I did not
so-
apologize about that when we were leaving. Oh my! What'd you say, Jeff?
Not. Stop talking about
I
that.
can't not.
Leave it
I
alone.
cannot let that go.
Okay.
Sorry, what'd you say,
Excuse
Jeff?
me. Oh, sorry.
You were talking, and I had something on my mind, but I wasn't really listening. What'd you say?
Oh, I said you have a lot to be sorry for.
We burned down your White House.
That's why we're
That's true.
sorry.
That's true.
'Cause-
I'm sorry I wasn't old enough to remember that.
Well, I mean-
under 214 years old or whatever it's been.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be like
Whatever.
that was the War of 1812. It happened in 1814 when it burned down. So you figure that's 202 years ago. Yeah, I'm not that old. So
Math.
get over it. You burnt down the White House. Good for you.
Yeah, damn right we did.
We blew up Japan. Did you do that?
No, we're not the only country to ever use the nuclear weapons out of anger. No. Yeah.
But anyway, this is not about. So
I'm having fun.
we're
Feels
not
like we should
trying to have we're friends here now.
But it feels
Stop.
like we should
Oh,
be.
of course we are.
We are
Feels
Why
like
we
friends.
joke.
we should be drinking doing this much
I
ball
know, we
busting.
should all be drinking.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh, you're not drinking?
We're
No,
not tonight,
I gotta drive.
unfortunately. Yeah.
I actually have a drink, so I'm
Well,
the drinking
enjoy
one
that.
and you're the sober one. That's really weird.
So what are you drinking?
Right now I'm drinking rum and Coke, just
Oh, okay.
Captain Morgan and Coca-Cola.
Is it
you know,
spiced?
ice.
Spice.
Yeah, the Captain Morgan standard spiced rum, just a
Okay,
regular
okay.
Captain Morgan.
That's the best Captain Morgan anyway.
No, I would say Captain Morgan private stock.
No,
It's got
no,
really
no,
good
no.
Private stock is wonderful. Yes,
This
Spice.
beautiful vanilla aftertaste to it. Oh
Is it?
man,
so good.
I must
It's
have
also
never had it
about
then.
twice as much, so it's expensive. At least here
comes
it is.
in a nice, fancy, funny, lumpy little bottle with a nice little cork.
Okay.
Yeah.
A textured bottle
Mm.
with a real nice sealed cork, beautiful label. Oh, and by the way, it tastes delicious.
We got to try it. Okay, next
Yeah, it's
time
good
we're
stuff.
recording, we're getting trashed.
Sounds good.
On
Yeah.
rum?
Yeah.
How much is it about?
Whatever.
doesn't matter.
$30 or something for a
Oh,
bottle.
It's really
26er.
not that bad for 26ers.
Yeah.
30.
Well, see, the thing is,
That's not bad.
Well, I
You
don't
don't
know.
get a whole fifth either. It's a smaller bottle. Private stock is less than a fifth than a fifth of regular spiced.
It's about
So
three
it's a few bucks more for a little less.
3/4 of like a 26er. I think a 26er is Canadian terms. Whatever there's a flask, and then there's a what we call a 26er, and then there's a 40, which is like a big bottle.
Yeah, 40 ounce. What we call it here would be at least the way liquor is sold at the liquor store is in fifths. That's a fifth gallon, which is also 750 milliliters.
That's close to our Mickey. We call it a
Yeah,
Mickey.
that's
well,
Mickey as in like
a Mickey's
as in
about
like Mickey's
300.
malt beverage.
Is it like-
No.
It's
It's a bottle that's about 300.
No, you're talking about Texas Mickey's.
No,
Texas
a
Mickey's
Mickey is the smaller bottle.
Okay.
It's about 300 milliliters. If you're looking at milliliters, okay. So like a Coke bottle, the bigger Coke bottle, like the one you buy at the grocery store, that's 500. This is the smaller one. A Texas Mickey is the giant size one.
Because that's like a water heater full of liquor.
Yes, that's that big. For us, we call it Texas Mickey. It's a really, really big bottle. It's like, I would say about 3, 4, 5 liters easily.
More than that, I say 3, 4, 5 gallons.
Yeah, that's a hell of a size.
It's a big
Yeah, and
bottle.
they
And that's
cannot-
what we call the
They
Texas
can't keep
Mickey.
them in the stores here.
No?
They cannot keep them in the stores. They fly off the shelves.
I think
Oh
it's
yeah, because then you don't have to make as many trips to the liquor store. That makes sense.
No, but like, I remember going to a party.
It's
and
probably because it's sold to the bars.
no,
They're
no,
going to
no,
buy
they
a
don't,
Texas
because
Mickey
the
at the bar.
bars. They sell bulk to the bars.
And
So-
Yeah, I was
okay.
gonna say, and the bars would get it for wholesale. It isn't like
Yeah.
it isn't like bartenders are going to these to the liquor store to
No, that's
you
true.
know, polish off their thing. You know, they order it in and whatnot, just like any sort of food or beverage restaurant business. They all do it that
Yeah,
way.
that's
You know,
true.
you don't.
Yeah, but
I would
like
say
we said, people
Quack.
are
Party.
making over easily. There's a lot of people that make like 100
I gotta,
to
I gotta bleep that out.
what?
I said my place of work. I'll beep that out. Yeah, we went to a Christmas party
At
for
the
work.
place that you work for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was a Mickey. There was 2 Mickeys, Texas Mickeys going around, and they were all gone before I left.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I mean, the thing is, it's sort of stereotypically Newfoundlanders
Yeah.
where we live. And not Newfoundland. This isn't, a
Newfoundland.
Finland, Jeff Finch.
Yeah, I've always referred to it as Newfoundland. How do you refer to that particular province?
Well,
Newfoundland.
you got to.
Yeah.
The thing is, you
Yeah,
have to
Frank.
say it fast.
Newfoundland.
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 No, you're saying it
better?
too slow.
No, because
Too slow.
you're trying to enunciate too much.
You're trying to enunciate. Newfoundland.
Hey.
Yes. Say it fast. Because everything is said fast.
I
In-
understand
in
Okay,
Newfoundland.
so next time I'm going to pronounce where you live, I should just say Labrador.
Well,
You could say that.
Thing is, there's
Or-
the two very different places,
That's the thing. Yeah.
and I am not
That is
Newfoundland.
something. Yeah, that's something I'm not sure of either. Like, I mean, I know of Newfoundland and Labrador. They are the same province, but they're 2 separate areas. So basically, like, and I don't know. Like, I guess I'm just not 100% sure how or why it's like that. Why it's not its own province compared to Newfoundland.
It should be.
It should be. I don't know why
Yeah.
it isn't.
It should be, but the fact
We have all
is
the
that there's less population in all of Labrador than there is in,
St.
I'd
John's.
say,
Yep.
maybe St. John's itself.
Yeah, there
Because
is.
we're so
Sure,
small.
makes sense.
It's just, they figured, well, if it might as well be part of Newfoundland and be governed by, because then you don't have to have capital and everything like
Well,
that.
the thing is, if
There's a lot to it. Yeah, for sure.
we left Newfoundland, we'd be annexed by Quebec, and I'm not prepared to let that happen.
No,
I
I
would
don't want to be
like-
a dirty
I would-
Frenchman.
I would wage a war.
With
I
their-
go home and get my paints, my face paint. I put on my shamaka and get my. I just go ahead and start bombing, satellite dishes.
with satellite dishes. I
Not off
took
houses.
I took a train trip from Nova Scotia to Ottawa when I was going up, and
Must have been a nice trip.
it on a train. Yes, it was really nice, and but when we were going through Quebec, you passed along a lot of like very residential areas, and everybody had an above ground pool.
That's the
Everybody,
thing. Quebec's like that.
everybody in Quebec got
I
an
don't know why.
above ground pool.
Bécomo.
Same thing.
Bécomo, Sept-Îles, Rimouski, Chicoutimi, all in places above ground pools. I think it's just because it's a French thing. They're French.
It must be. It must be.
It
And they
has to
get
be.
nicer weather than we do. If anybody's got any
Not
kind
really.
of,
Not in Bécomo.
they get Baie-Comeau, no, but where I was driving through, they do. But I mean, it was crazy because you're driving because the train tracks literally go by houses, their backyards, and it's pool, 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 pool. Okay, they didn't have a pool, but the next person had a pool, and they probably just went over to their neighbor's pool. So when it was hot.
Interesting.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe
'Cause,
it.
I mean, a lot of people here have pools, but it's not like that. I mean, it's not like every single or every other house. I mean, it's like maybe one in every 20 houses in the area I live, and it's not exactly a warm area here either. I mean, it's a lot
No.
it's a lot warmer than where you are, but you can only use the pool here maybe 4 to 5 months out of the year, really.
Okay,
I grew up with a swimming pool, actually. My mom and dad have a swimming pool, still have it. And yeah, we got maybe on a good summer, we got about 5 months out of the pool. You're
Okay.
looking from like May to September.
Yeah.
But that being said, in the town that I grew up in a very small town, 500 or so residents, maybe 200 households, and I'm pretty sure that maybe 5 houses in the whole town had a pool, and we were one of them.
Oh,
And
okay.
I grew up with there were a lot of kids my age, within a year or two of my age, older and younger, whenever I grew up. So my house was the place.
Sorry, Finch.
I'm ready.
Yeah, okay, we're back again. Sorry about that. We had a little hiccup, everybody.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties is called stupid ass computer.
Is
That's
that
what it's
is that
called.
like a
That's what it's
technical-
called. Stupid ass
That's
computer.
the technical term.
Technical term. Look it up. It's on Google. Wiki it.
Quack.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's Quebec. What I find that they're not horrible people. The ones that live in Fairmont are, but they're not bad people. But I find that they try so hard to make themselves different than us. Do you find that?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's just French.
In a sort of general way, they try so hard to make themselves seem more cultured, more erudite, more, la-di-da.
More
We have really
almond head.
fancy things, and look at the things we have. Look at the food we eat, like raclette and like creton and things like that, and tarte sucre and know what that is? Know what any of that is?
No, I
Well,
don't. I
raclette
grew
is
up
like
on the island of Newfoundland, so
yes, okay.
there was no French people, thank God.
See, I grew up with Phil, so they're French.
Yeah.
And raclette is like this sort of tiered, like hot plate thing,
Hmm.
where one level has a bunch of meats, the next level has a bunch of vegetables, and the top level has a bunch of load and it is the most amazing thing. You load up a little like bowl of all this, and it's amazing. Creton is like ground beef pate that you put on like toast or something. Oh my god, it's so good.
Croutons?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Creton,
Creton.
C-R-E-T-O,
Creton.
and I laughed so hard at you guys speaking with a French accent in your last episode.
We.
Something fell out.
I took
you-
French for
you
years. And
kicking-
I still don't know any French.
It fell out. Oh.
What are you
Matt.
breaking, dude?
He's dropping the headphone amplifier.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's just somewhat expensive.
Well, actually,
electronic
it wasn't
drop
very
it out.
expensive,
Drop it like
actually,
it's
to
hot.
be honest.
No, but it takes 9 weeks to get one up
Well,
there where you live.
that is true.
Not really.
That's-
It took me 3 days to get my latest
so,
graphic novel. So.
Penguins just scored. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll keep farting in your couch. This
It
couch
took
is
me-
gonna stink after a while.
Well,
I've been farting
You're
in
gonna
this
have
for
to
months.
buy it off me.
Okay, it's
Take it
comfortable.
home. But yeah, and that's the thing. If you want anything, because basically what I was looking for, why it took so long to actually get on these calls, is because we needed some RCA adapters to the basically the is it 1/4 inch headphone jacks adapters.
Yes.
I went to the local source, which is the source, which is basically used to be Radio Shack.
Circuit City.
Radio Shack.
Radio Shack, yeah.
Which is Circuit City in the United States, right?
Actually, neither of those exist anymore. They were two separate entities, actually, Circuit City and Radio Shack.
Okay.
Circuit City closed down within the last 8 or 9 years, something like that. Radio Shack just recently shut down within the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay.
There might still be Radio Shack here and there, maybe in the major cities, but all the smaller, all the smaller ones are gone now.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually a bummer. It's hard for me to get equipment now. The only place that's anywhere near my house is Guitar Center, and Guitar Center's great, and they actually have more audio equipment, better audio equipment than Radio Shack ever did, but it's also extremely expensive.
Okay.
Anything I buy there, I pay double for if I were to buy it, other than little stuff, like a little connector, like something that you need might only cost me $5 at that store. So $5 isn't anything, but if I want to buy anything like some cables, especially when it comes to like HDMI or like a mic cable or something like that, I mean, oh my gosh, I needed an XLR cable for a microphone recently, and I was looking for like a 20-footer. I wanted to have one with some serious length.
Yeah.
It was like $50 at Guitar Center. I go on Amazon, it's $15 and another $2 to ship it. I'm like, F that. I didn't need it that day, so
how long would it have taken?
Like a week.
It's
really?
Very
that
rare.
Long? Yeah. It's actually rare for anything to take that long to get here, unless it's some like Chinese knockoff. I've bought stuff. They're Chinese things. It might take 2 to 3 weeks or more. But for the most part, even bigger things that I've bought usually take less than a week.
Okay.
Through Amazon. So I'm lucky in that aspect.
I guess in the big centers is where you see the you order a jug. You order a gallon of milk and you have it in 2 hours, and because I know that you can buy milk on Amazon.
Why?
Because in big centers, they will deliver that stuff to you.
They actually do that at Ulysses. They order all their groceries for their daycare through Amazon. They put it to the daycare.
Yep.
I'm just looking at this picture.
It makes more sense in the big centers because you're not going to wait 2 weeks for a jug of milk.
It'd be gone bad.
It would be. It would be curdled. You would have cottage cheese. Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
I don't mind it.
It's really good, especially mixed with fruits.
Yeah.
I heard the same about you.
Cottage cheese with raisins are delicious.
What are you laughing at?
I heard it was a bad joke. I kind of inserted. I said, I heard the same thing about you, Jeff.
No, guys.
Yeah, but,
no, it's okay. I don't mind.
The ribbing.
Talk all the crap you can, dude. Get it in now.
Yeah, I'm doing this now while I can.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely first of many, so it's
cool.
It's a good setup.
We can get Nick on, and we can get Mike here. We have just a big.
You would be able to get Nick in your studio, could you not?
Absolutely. All I'd have to do is plug my mixer into my computer, set up a mic for him. We would have separate mics, and it would feed through Facebook Messenger to you to record. So we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
I would just need a day or so of notice so that I have time to get it all set up. And
get Mr. Nick or
get him over here.
Yeah, that's right. And we're set up for another person as well. Unfortunately, Mr. Mike is gone out of town right now, and
gonna see his sister.
And I wish he was here for the inaugural testing of testing of the new abilities. But so anyway,
cool.
So do we have anything nerdy to talk about? Because we're halfway through this episode.
I have narrowed down the list of comic books I'm going to send Nick.
Yeah.
I'm going to send the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Wars, V for Vendetta, and Watchmen. Maybe I was going to slip a Batman one in there.
Actually, I thought I read. Maybe I didn't. Did I read V for Vendetta before I watched the movie?
You said you had the movie and still in the wrapper.
Oh, I do still have the movie
in the wrapper. Have you seen the movie?
Oh, yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful movie.
Yes, it was excellent. Something that I actually liked Natalie Portman in.
If I wasn't married, I would marry Natalie Portman.
Would you?
I would physically.
I am married, and I would still marry Natalie Portman. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She reminds me too much of my sister.
10 out of 10. I've never seen your sister, but if she looks like Natalie Portman, oh my.
Well,
if she looks like your sister, then I'm in.
No, well,
But the thing is, when V for Vendetta, when she has her head shaved, she looked like how my cousin looked when he was like 12.
or maybe I'm just thinking that the Star Wars prequels really
I don't know what those are
Turned
because I
me
put those out
off.
of my brain.
they turned me off from Natalie Portman because
No, see,
they're,
they
they're
turned me
the
on to
Star
Natalie
Wars
Portman.
prequels. I hate them so
No,
much.
actually, Leon the Professional turned me on to Natalie Portman. No, it didn't.
Yeah, but she was like
12. I was joke.
10. I think she was like
12 in the
No,
movie.
she was 8.
I don't know how old she was then.
How old do you think she was, Jeff?
You were talking about in Leon the Professional?
Yeah.
Leon.
Yeah, I want
the
to say she
Professional?
was like 8 to
Leon?
10. She was probably like 10, I'd say.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time, but
In the book,
yeah,
the character was
she was about
12.
that
so.
age.
Oh, okay. She was 12 and
That was such a good movie.
it was a good movie.
Of the
I
end.
think she's younger than me. She's probably, even now, like, hold on, I'll grab my phone and look it up. But
No,
even
she's
now,
like-
I mean,
Oh, she's definitely
think she's
well.
30.
She's definitely younger than me. So.
no, I
I
think
know that
she's
for a
older
fact.
than I am.
yeah, well, I
so-
mean, freaking Moses is younger than you, Mark. Come on now.
Mhm. Well, I mean,
What a prick.
that's all right.
But you know, Natalie Portman is like a
I'm not
PhD.
old. I'm just aging. Like I don't know.
You're like fine wine. You don't
Getting
get
better
fine
in
wine doesn't
time.
get old. It's better. It becomes
Natalie
vintage.
Portman is
That's
35.
what actually a feller
Dude,
come
she's
in.
35. Yeah, damn.
I mean, look, you tell me that's not hot. Look at that right there.
I'm telling you, she looks like my sister.
Your sister's hot.
I don't think you don't know my sister.
I don't know. So
She's
what's your
my
sister's
sister.
name? What's your sister's name?
Mercedes.
Natalie.
You're
Same
gonna have to
same
spell
same spelling as Mercedes, the car.
Mercedes.
She reminds me too much of my sister.
Langell.
No, she's not. Yes, that's her. Mercedes Langell.
So
Turret.
anyway, you were talking about comic books. Just to let you know, if you don't know this already, I am like, comic books are foreign to me. I am not a comic book guy at all, and I don't have
Your
anything.
sister is hot. Your sister's hot as hell.
Your sister's hot as hell.
I've been told that a lot, actually.
Sorry. I
Don't
just
be
had to
sorry,
get
I
that
don't
out of my
care.
sister.
It's not like she's my
I
wife.
just had to get that out of my sister.
Get out
I
of your
said-
sister.
My system.
Boy, if I had $1 for every
Oh
time I
my
told
God,
somebody
that's not a good slip to make.
Freudian slip.
That's not a good slip to make.
better not edit that out.
Why don't you? Okay,
I'm not from Louisiana, I swear.
I don't think Louisiana they're inbred, are they? Probably. Inbred,
Yeah, they are.
inbreeding everywhere, I guess.
Anywhere down in the
You're
Anywhere
southern
south of the
states.
Mason-Dixon
You're from
line.
Stephenville Crossing. Don't be talking about inbreeding. It's
I'm
like-
not from Stephenville Crossing. I'm from Stephenville.
Oh, excuse me.
It's different. This is over the hill. It's on the other side of the
Stephenville
hill.
Crossing's where all the Indians and Jackie tires are.
Actually, I am from my grandmother. My mom grew up on the other side of the hill.
Crossing.
I grew up in Stephenville,
Uncle
but
Grandpa.
my great grandfather was married 3 times and
How many sisters
has
did he have?
over 20. He has over
And yet the
20
family tree never forked.
over 20 children.
My
It's
nan
crazy.
has 21 brothers and sisters.
That's crazy.
That's like old.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's like, but see, in old Newfoundland, like Newfoundland back in the day, you needed that many sort of people like to help out with the farms.
and
stuff.
people farms
Well, yeah,
fishing. You mean?
yeah, well, I mean,
Fishing.
food production, whatever,
Yeah.
for people on farms in Newfoundland.
Yeah, to get ahead, you had big families, because
They did do all the work. So,
the oldest daughter will raise
the youngsters.
the youngsters, and it's just how it worked. My sister, my mother
Sister.
raised her sisters.
It's like my nan would say, she had to go berry picking every single day
Hmm
so everyone could have jam on their bread.
That's right.
I mean, I'm like, God, that's old fashioned.
It is very, but that's the way it was.
Jeff must be like, just must be
Whoa.
blowing his mind right now.
Does that sound like a foreign concept to you?
Not at all. Not
No?
at all.
Really?
Big fans?
Same way here. I mean, if you look at my grandparents were one of 7, 8, 10 kids or whatever
That's-
it is.
That's a lot too.
Um,
so.
Even my parents, both my mom and my dad were one of 6. And they're not that old. I mean, they're in their early 50s. So
It's a
but
generational
now,
thing.
yeah, my generation. Well, that was the baby boom. At
Mm.
least in America, they have this concept of the baby boomers generation.
Mhm.
Basically, anybody born 20 years after World War II ended, you're considered the baby boom, and a lot of that was, people, men and women, but mostly men, were coming back from the war and just coming home and just
dick
beating
in
cheeks with the wife,
Yeah.
beating cheeks all day, all night. And, they had a bunch of kids. And at that time, there were plenty of jobs to go around. Steel and coal and all that stuff was really kicking, and there was money to be made, and you could have those many kids.
Yeah.
Come along, the
when
next
you guys-
generation, which is my generation, that opportunity isn't here. So,
Gen
the
Xers.
vast
Gen X.
majority. Well, I'm too young even for Gen X.
Well, yeah.
I'm considered a millennial. But I'm like at the older edge. I'm more of a Gen Y type thing. Like I'm 5 years too young to be Gen X and 5 years too old to technically be a millennial. So I'm like in that middle stage. But either way, I'm only one of two. I have one
you're
sister.
Gen
That's it.
Xer, right?
Yes,
You'd be considered a Gen X.
Yeah, I'm Gen X for sure.
I'd definitely be considered
sure.
millennial, although I hate millennials.
Yeah.
I'm too old.
But you're not
No doubt.
you're not a typical millennial when you think of millennial stuff.
See, now when you say millennials, I'm picturing little Jonah.
That's what
With the like ironic little sort of comb over to the side and like a toque, like barely on your head, thick rimmed glasses, an ironic.
The way I
beard.
consider a person a millennial is, and this is, I don't know if it's like, because I've read this before, but somebody compared it to, if you think of 9/11, okay, 2001. If you're old enough to remember 9/11,
remember where
it?
you
I
were?
remember it.
Yeah.
you're not a millennial. Millennials should
That's
be
true.
people who were too young to remember it.
That's so true.
So, for instance, me, I was a senior in high school. When that happened,
You
I was
remember that.
sitting in sitting in
grade
calculus
8.
class when they came over the announcements and said, "Hey, teachers, turn on your TVs. There's something going on." And I remember the moment. I remember the look on people's faces. I remember the conversations we had in that classroom. But then, I have a cousin who was born in 1998. He was 3 years old at the time. That's a millennial.
Yeah,
He's
he
somebody-
don't remember jack.
He doesn't
about
remember that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a good place in time to describe that generation. This whole naming of the generations is sort of a more based on what you were around for. So, for instance, the baby boomer generation, people born in the 40s and 50s, the big event in their lives was the JFK assassination. Huge event. Everybody remembers where they were. The next group, the younger baby boomers, remember the moon landing. That was the huge event. Everybody remembers watching that on TV. People who are younger than that, the big event for them, there really wasn't a huge event like in the 70s and 80s, like there was, like with 9/11 or JFK or whatever. So it's the experiences that generation can share is what really defines a generation in
Death
general.
of Kurt
in my
Cobain.
opinion. That was a big one for me too. I was 10 years old when that happened, and I'm one of the biggest Nirvana fans you'll ever meet. And that. I guess you could consider that more of a Gen X thing because the Gen Xers were of age. You guys were late teens, early 20s at the time.
Last year of high school.
Yeah, there you go. So
I don't know how old I was. I don't remember.
You would have been.
that's a pretty big one for sure.
That was
1994.
94.
Oh, so 7.
April 8th, 1994 is when they found his body.
Yeah.
So I was 10 and a half years old.
So it's
I was
like
in
Sonic
high
the Hedgehog
school.
or something.
I was in grade 12, finishing my high school. Finishing my high schooling. So, and when 9/11 happened, I was fixing a fence. I was
When the
working
planes
for
hit, you were
a.
just hammering in a nail.
I was
You just
actually.
stopped because you
I was
knew.
working for a private school at the time as.
I was in social studies with Miss
Social
Sergeant Frank. And,
Did they pull in a TV and
Yeah, we
hook
put
it
it on
up
the
to the
TV,
cable television?
and no one's like, everyone's like, so.
Watch this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. 'Cause it was.
Oh my gosh! So the worst things have happened.
It was.
No,
a big
it's just-
thing,
yes,
though,
don't get me
because it
wrong,
was
it's horrible.
televised.
It is horrible. It's terrible. Yes, but there were worse
No.
things that happened.
What I meant by that was I'm comparing it to my experience. And whenever it happened, the group of kids I was with in school, there were like 20 of us in this calculus class at the time.
Yeah.
And there were tears. There was, you heard the phrase, this is like something out of a movie. Like everybody was saying that. Like there was definitely nobody that was like, meh.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
that's understandable. Yeah, but
For us
Yeah.
too, you got to realize that we have a certain disconnect.
yeah, it's a bit detached.
because we are
Well, that's-
Canadians
It's
as
horrible to
opposed
see
to.
any acts of terrorism,
you know.
any people dying. Yes, but
But it was. I think the biggest thing for us was it was televised. Everything was televised.
Yeah.
You could. We
Definitely.
all could see it. Everybody was seeing it. Not just. Not just the people sending out the messages.
Not just people in New York or people
That's right.
just in, it was a worldwide
everywhere.
phenomenon. And it's one of those defining moments in your life. I mean, it really is. And you know, what, like you mentioned earlier, it's one of those things where you sit down and everybody remembers where they were at that moment.
They do. Yeah.
And
I remember the exact
the reactions to it were so crazy. And you know, I remember that whole day. Like, it was, you know, that was 15, 16 years ago. I remember it so well.
Yeah.
But you know, that's how it goes.
It's crazy to think that was 16 years ago. Now
that makes me sad, because I graduated high school just a few months after that, and it makes me feel old for sure.
Well, how do you think I feel?
I don't know. How do you feel?
You're about 8 years older than me, I think. So
I'll be 42.
You feel even older. Yeah,
I'll be 42.
Well, you just said you graduated in '94. I graduated in '02, so that puts you roughly 8 years older. Or so So hey. You know, since we are on a nerd talk station and we've spent 50 minutes talking about everything but nerdy stuff,
I guess though.
Well, I started talking about the comics I was going to send to Nick, and
I
was so rudely interrupted.
Well, I'm so sorry.
I happened to be looking at you when I was talking, not just saying you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm going to send him the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Wars. Infinity Wars is a bit of a slog. You've read Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Me? No, you were supposed to loan them to me.
Well, I forgot.
Well, anyway.
I've never heard of Infinity Gauntlet. I don't even know what it is.
Well, it's the next Avengers movie, so...
Have you watched any Avengers
movies? Okay.
It's the next saga, because they're making the 2 movies out of the Infinity Gauntlet
basically,
situation.
There's these gems that are made out of, like, okay, one's the space gem, one's the mind gem, one's the heart gem, one's the power gem. Well, there's 5. I don't remember them all.
Have you been watching all of the Marvel movies? Have you seen... Okay.
No.
What have you missed?
I haven't watched.
Why don't you get the hell out of my life?
You haven't?
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched any of them.
Why?
Not because I don't want to. It's just that because I mean, I'm a fan of like comic book style and stuff. You know, I've seen the Spider-Man movies, the older ones, with Tobey Maguire. I like those a lot.
Of
course, I've watched some of the. I've seen. They're okay movies. I don't love them or hate them. I thought they were good. If you think they're bad, I mean, maybe compared to the newer Spider-Man movies, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I have not watched any of the new Marvel movies. In fact, the only quote comic book movies I have watched in the last 10 years have been, I saw Batman v Superman, liked it, didn't love it.
Did you see the extended edition?
No, we didn't. And I know you guys have mentioned previously on your podcast that that's the way to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Statzer actually bought the movie, and I went over his house one day and we watched it. And, I mean, I liked it. It was good.
No, he must have then. Because the extended edition was pretty much the edition that they put out. It wasn't, you couldn't buy just unless you watched the actual theatrical version. Cause
maybe we did. I just don't know. Whatever he bought on iTunes and downloaded is what we watched.
It might have been theatrical.
Yeah. And it was
things
like
on iTunes.
3 hours long, and it had a lot of. It was, I don't know. My feelings were mixed on it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. It was all right.
Well,
we all found that the extended edition, and I guess that's a good thing about where we are sort of. We live here. We don't get the movies very quickly. So whenever we get the Blu-ray is what we see as and we had the extended version, so we didn't have time to really. I mean, we read all the internet hubbub and everybody trashing it, but we didn't know what they were talking about until we watched it ourselves. And then when we watched it, it was more of a fleshed out deal to us, and we were like, "What? Why was everybody so angry? It didn't make any sense to us." So, because everybody in around us said the same thing.
Drover liked it at work. Aaron liked it.
Everybody.
Mike liked it. I like it. You like it.
People that work with me.
I mean, like I said, it was good. I just didn't love it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not. That's to be honest with you. I mean, the comic book style is just really not my thing.
What do you mean? Sorry to cut you off. What do you mean comic book style?
Well, what I mean to say is most movies or TV shows that are based directly off of comics, there aren't too many that I have seen that I was like, man, that's great. You know, I thought Spawn was an okay movie. You know, it was a little ahead of its time.
Terrible.
But no, I thought it was all right. It was decent. Now, I haven't read the comics, so I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But, you know, the Spider-Man movies I mentioned were okay. Of course, I've seen, like, some of the older comic book movies. You know, I've seen, like, Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Those are all pretty good. I did watch Superman Returns, and it was fucking terrible, or whatever that one was, Brandon Ruth, or whatever his name is. I didn't like that one. Sorry for the language. But, you know,
don't worry about that.
And there are some other things that I do like. For instance, 300, for example, is technically a comic book movie.
I was going to bring you up on that.
It is.
I love 300. That's one of my
But
favorite
it's
movies of
bit.
all time, so.
Technically,
It's hard. You can't really
Man
say it
on
as
Fire was a comic book movie. V for Vendetta is a comic book movie.
The Crow.
True.
Yeah, you know,
The Crow is.
The Crow, yeah.
I was
The
going to
Crow
bring
is
you up
comic
on this, but this
Virus.
comic book movies, but
A movie called Virus. I don't know. I've never seen it, but it was a Dark Horse
so
comic.
Bad. It's so
Is
bad.
it
It's
bad?
good.
Well,
I never
let me
seen
ask
it.
you this: how would you define a quote comic book movie? I mean, let's use 300 as an example. I mean, that is based off of a graphic novel.
But
It's a
Frank Miller.
comic book, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, and Sin City's another one. Yeah, that's also a Frank Miller one.
Okay.
Sin City's another. You know,
300
what's the difference between that and like an MCU movie?
Superheroes.
Superheroes
Okay, sure.
or situations that are not defined in history that already may have happened. Like,
I would say
Like
continuity
something-
of issues.
Something like that.
yeah, 300 was an adaptation of a comic book, which was an adaptation of a
Of a true
story
story.
from legend, right? So I mean, you're not. It's sort of like taking. It's an adaptation of an adaptation of an adaptation. So really,
Well,
but where Superman came in, Superman was always in the comics. Batman was
Sure.
always in comics. The
Okay,
Crow
makes
was
sense.
always, even though The Crow is a very different movie from any of those, it still its origination came from comic books. That to me is
well, you could say Captain America. You could say Jonah Hex. You could
Yep.
say
Jonah Hex is a comic book movie.
yeah, but
Cowboys
Jonah Hex
and
was a
aliens.
cowboy in the Old West. Captain America was in World War II. Like, where do you draw the line at this point?
The worst selling comic book in history.
Jonah Hex?
No, Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh God,
Did you ever hear about how that movie got made?
no, but I didn't watch
No.
it.
Okay. So it's funny. So you never seen the movie, but you do know there is a movie. Okay.
Daniel Craig?
The
Yes.
guy wanted to make a movie. The guy who created Cowboys and Aliens wanted to make a movie, but he couldn't get the rights to the movie made. Nobody cared about his movie, Cowboys and Aliens, when he pitched it to the studios. So what he went and done was he hired somebody to draw a comic book version of it, get it printed, and then he bought all the copies. So if he had a 100,000 print run, he bought them all.
Why?
Because then it looks like it's a hot-selling comic book.
See, this is like
And because of that, he could take it to the...
You get more interest from the movie studios.
Exactly. Because at this time, they were starting to look for comic book...
Iron Man kicked off the MCU.
Exactly. They were looking for
Spider-Man
comic book
Flying High.
properties that were ready to be made into movies. He said, I got this already made. The comic book sold 100,000 copies. Let's get this made. And he basically bought his movie out of the shittiest comic ever to be... Because nobody read it, because nobody could. He bought them all.
He had them all.
He could now probably sell those at a decent price because
No, because the movie's still
there, and I'll buy it.
It's still a movie.
People are stupid.
Well, that's true too.
No, I was
Got
gonna
that
say.
right.
No, I don't even know if you're even interested, Jeff. But I mean, if you, this looks horrible. My pants do this. It's bothering me. Sorry.
You can't see that.
I know, but
It's
I
a
can
radio
see it.
show.
It's bothering me. My pants look like they're way too short. Like was it clam diggers?
High waters.
But yeah,
Floods.
Jeff. There's if you I don't even know if you're interested or not. But are you interested in getting into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and comic book movies?
I will eventually. Because I mean, I've seen clips of the movies. I did watch a good part of one of the. I can't remember which one it was. I used to work at a rental place, a furniture store, and we had like TVs and stuff set up, and we would always have movies playing on those TVs. And my boss was a huge fan of MCU, so he always had the comic book movies playing.
Guardians of
this
the
was a
Galaxy.
couple years ago. This was before Guardians came out, so I haven't seen it. And everybody
You
says
haven't
it's the
seen
best
Guardians.
one, and I want to watch it so much.
It could be.
I will watch it soon.
It could be Captain America, First Avenger, or the First Avengers.
Yeah.
The one that we watched was it was one with Scarlett Johansson, the
Avengers.
black suit looking. Was it the Avengers? Okay, it was in 3D. We had it on a 3D TV. It looked all right.
See, now I would really like to see Scarlett Johansson in a black suit in 3D.
Dude,
Amazing.
I got a 3D TV
So
upstairs.
good.
What'd you say?
I have a 3D TV upstairs.
Yeah, but
And I have 3D Blu-ray of
See, I
of
want to
the
see
Avengers.
it in like VR. Oh my! I would just.
Yeah.
Now you're getting a little bit over.
Okay, let's
He
go to
just
that. Have you
wants-
guys experienced VR at all? Have you checked out any of that stuff yet? Have you been-
No one has the true. We haven't been able to.
It's too expensive.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Or it's just nobody I know has one yet.
Little Jonah.
Little Jonah has the site.
Little Jonah has
the
that.
Sony-
He plays
the PlayStation
Resident
one.
Evil 7.
The PSVR.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so expensive.
It's only $500.
Oh, it's only $500.
Oh, that's all. That doesn't include the PlayStation.
No,
That's just the
you'd have to
headset
have your
and-
PlayStation first.
Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at $800 just to get started. That's
And then,
too much.
Yeah, and then I don't know.
I guess $800.
I mean, if you're making $100,000
Yeah,
a year,
that's-
whole up in Labrador, that's okay. But for a regular Joe Schmo like me, $800,
that's
I mean,
right. There's a lot of money.
That's a couple of paychecks.
See, we also have to take into account. Me and Mark don't work at it.
Quack.
No,
We don't
no.
make that kind of money.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Quack.
He's the mine here. We're gonna have to cut that out too. We're gonna work at the mines here.
We work
We service the
alongside
mines.
of the mines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Okay.
we
we collaborate with the mines.
So-
but I mean, we still make good money.
I have, as far as the VR goes, I have tried out a couple of the VRs. A friend of mine, about a year or so ago, when Samsung released their VR, probably not a year, it was probably last summer.
Are you talking about the ones that you just put your cell phone into?
Yes, it's amazing.
Okay.
Unbelievable. My friend, Samsung was doing a deal, Verizon
Yeah.
Wireless was doing a deal. If you bought the Samsung S7 phone, you could get the VR headset for free.
Is that the one that would explode?
No.
No, that was
That's
the-
the.
Samsung Note 7 phone.
Yeah,
this
Note
was
7.
the S7. The
S7.
Note 7 is more of a tablet phone,
Yeah.
whereas the S7 is more of just a standard smartphone. It's big but not huge. So anyway, my friend got that, and we were over at his house. We were watching. I think we were watching like some UFC fights or something. We watch a lot of the pay-per-views at his house, and he comes walking in his living room. He's got this headset. He's like, "Jeff, you got to try this."
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right." So I put it on. The first thing he loads up is a Jurassic Park simulator.
Okay.
It's very
That sounds cool.
There's not much to it. All it is you're standing in the middle of these woods, right? You see one of the classic Jurassic Park Jeeps from the movie.
Yeah.
And you see
Yeah.
a Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus, one of the long-necked guys, hanging out, just sleeping in front of you, okay? So you got this thing on your head. You look up, you in camera look up. If you look left, in camera look left, whatever.
Okay.
All of a
VR
sudden,
works,
the dinosaur wakes up, right? And it looks at you, and it starts walking towards you. Mind you, the phone vibrates, so it makes your head vibrate, which causes your body to vibrate. You have headphones on for the sound,
Yeah.
so you have stereo sound. This thing starts walking towards me, right? And I got legit scared. I'm like, holy
Quack.
this thing comes up to me, right? And first it like swings its big long head right towards your face to where it's like inches from your face, right? So you jump back.
Go ahead.
So yeah, the dinosaur it comes down on all four legs, and it's right in your face, right? So this whole thing starts vibrating on your face. You hear it in your headphones, and it's absolutely amazing. And that sort of thing is definitely the future of VR. And now that they're really starting to adopt it, you're starting to see like PlayStation is releasing more games for their VR. Of course, there's Oculus Rift. There's a bunch of other ones. The VR thing is going to be amazing. Now, whether or not it'll get the support, from fans, from people, and people will buy enough of them to where they make enough games for it,
Yeah.
that's an issue.
Actually,
Because-
I was watching something on YouTube that was talking about the PlayStation VR, and it actually isn't selling very well.
Technology
The PlayStation 4 is selling very well, but the VR,
there's like
people
50
are
million
not
copies of
adopting.
PS4 or something.
Yeah, people are not adopting because I think there is such a high cost to getting into it, and people don't realize. Now, I have one of those, like, the one where you stick your cell phone into it. I do have one of those. It's an off-brand, but it works. But my phone is not an iPhone. It's a Sony,
Sure.
and it doesn't have the high resolution. So you can with these on, you can see the pixels, and it works for what it is. It's very it looks like you're looking through a screen, but I downloaded this.
stuff though, so that's cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, you move your head around, you look at stuff. So
Sure.
I was playing this almost fantasy game, and it came with a little Bluetooth controller, so I was able to, swing my sword and, in the game. But after 3 minutes, I was ready to throw up. And I was like,
I heard
what is
that a lot,
going
actually.
on?
That's
And
a very common complaint of a VR.
Huge.
That's a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's really. I had to take it off. I had to, just sit down and chill out. But I was getting really stomach sick because here I was thinking I was moving, but my body wasn't doing anything, and that's where
it's an illusion. It tricks your body. You're literally tricking your body.
Yep, exactly. So,
and when it comes to the VR, like I said, it is amazing. It's sold quite a bit. The PSVR, they estimate it sold like some 2 million copies or something, which is actually a hell of a lot. But here's the comparison I use. I had this discussion the other day with a friend of mine who just recently bought it. He was kind of giving me some shit because I bought a Nintendo Switch. It's going to be coming out next week. I was talking to him about that, how I think it's going to be a very, it's going to sell a lot of copies. I don't think we're going to sell as many as a PS4 is going to sell, but what I mean is he was comparing the Switch saying, oh, that's a gimmick. It's not going to sell. I'm like, dude, VR is a gimmick.
Well,
VR
yeah,
right
exactly.
now is the big thing, and everybody thinks it's so cool, but nobody's buying it.
Motion controls was a gimmick.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, but motion controls also sold, the Nintendo Wii sold like 101 million units. I mean,
Yeah.
$1 billion.
But it was still a gimmick.
I agree. It's a gimmick, absolutely.
It
was
still
just a
worked.
gimmick that really caught on.
Yeah, exactly.
I think VR is a gimmick that works great, but you have to couple in the fact, first and foremost, it is a high price for at least for the PlayStation, the Oculus, for the real good VR. Now, anybody can go and buy something like what you have for probably not very much money, and yeah, you get a cool experience. But if you want the true VR experience, you have to use a PlayStation and Oculus, and eventually Microsoft, and eventually
a very
Nintendo.
Fast computer with a really
or
good
that too,
video
yes.
card.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hardcore computer. But that being said, I compared it to Neo Geo. I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
And this is why.
Did you
Neo
know
Geo
anybody
is
who owned a
awesome.
Neo Geo?
No, I know nobody.
Okay.
The only time I ever played a Neo Geo game is because I downloaded it on Virtual Console.
Neo Geo, my god.
But the games are great.
Yeah.
Are they really?
Neo Geo was basically the Ferrari of video games at the time. When that came out, it was this wonderful game system that could reproduce arcade quality games 100%, a perfect reproduction.
No, that's because it was actually hardware, arcade hardware. That's
exactly
everything was arcade hardware.
Yes, and in the early '90s, arcade hardware was still superior to home console hardware.
Oh yes, for sure.
So when you were playing Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, you were getting these great games, but you weren't getting the kind of power that you would get in arcade.
But can you hear?
You know what? It jumped
circle,
back.
not the triangle.
Yeah. Okay, give her.
So, you weren't getting the kind of power from home consoles that you were getting with Neo Geo. So you would automatically think everybody's going to go buy Neo Geo. It's going to be this awesome machine. Everybody wants it. We're going to spend all our money. But they were incredibly expensive. They cost 3 times as much as a Super Nintendo did. Nobody bought it.
No,
so,
exactly.
And the VR is in the same boat at this particular moment. Neo Geo wasn't getting bought, therefore companies weren't supplying more games, third parties weren't making games for it, and it eventually faded off into, obscurity. That's sort of what happened with some other video game consoles too. The Wii U right now is a great example of that. I don't want VR to fall into that. I would love it if the huge companies like EA and Ubisoft and even Nintendo, Sega, those developers start making games for VR. Then you'll see VR prices come down. More people will buy them. It'll become more popular. I just don't know if that's going to happen. It's in the future.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of the companies are seeing that. Yeah, it's nice to make the little Batman tech demos and release it for $35 because I think that's one of the bigger selling ones for the PlayStation, but it is only like a tech demo. Nobody has really come out and really made now Resident Evil 7 that's fully VR.
That's a full VR game.
That's a full VR game.
But you can also play it regularly.
Is that the one where it starts off Missy, they're in the house and the Missy is taken over, because I seen some gameplay footage of that.
Game.
It looks crazy.
It looks so awesome.
See, you know, obviously you've heard of Silent Hill, either of you.
Yes.
Have you heard of PT?
Physical therapy?
No, it's a demo.
P.T. Barnum?
It was what?
P.T. Barnum, the maker of Animal Crackers?
New.
Okay.
It's PT was going to be the latest installment or iteration of the Silent Hill game, and it was starring the dirty and greasy Norman Reedus, and it was full first person, and that was going to be
my wife's boyfriend.
Oh, why? He forever looks like he needs a shower. He looks like he'd smell like bologna and dirty and cigarettes.
I agree with you 100%, but my wife constantly tells me how bad she would like to, whack him.
She did marry Jeff
Well, I mean,
Finch.
she got no taste. Look at Finch.
Yeah.
No, but I don't understand that. But anyway, it was like going to be the newest generation of Silent Hill games, and it was going to be fully optimized.
Just
for
1
VR.
second. Do we need to go get some salve for that burn?
I mean, you can come up
No, I'm
here
good,
and get
thanks.
looked at for free.
Yeah, well,
It wasn't a very good burn. I'm fine. First degree. Barely.
first degree.
Barely.
It barely went through the
Yeah,
first
there's like
layer
a
of
red mark on
cells.
my skin,
Just
but
a little welt.
5
Yeah.
minutes I'll forget about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, it was that was going to be fully optimized Silent Hill for VR.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I mean, there was
They were making that as a Silent Hill game?
that was a Silent Hill game,
Oh.
but they didn't want to call it like Silent Hill demo because it came out as a demo on the launch for PS4, so they called it PT. But it was done by the same
Gotcha.
What does PT stand for?
It's not explained what it stands for. It's just called PT.
That's stupid.
Well, I'm sorry.
Just calling it like
What do you want from me?
I didn't know. I know you didn't make the
I'm
damn
not,
game.
I'm not
and just say
Hideo.
it.
I'm not Hideo Kojima. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, it was Hideo. Kojima.
I think it's Hideo Kojima.
Hideo
Hideo.
Kojima.
Oh, don't
Hideo Kojima, yeah.
relax, Finch. Don't nuke them. But yeah, like I said, if you want to get into the MCU, it's really really good to get into, and it's all of it is sort of comes out, and you have to watch them almost in order.
You have to, as
Because-
they're being released, you have to.
Sure.
And
And I've been told that, sure.
I would
Yeah.
suggest, just if you want to dive in and then get straight to the current stuff, start at Captain America, the first Avengers, Captain America Winter Soldier. Oh, that's my favorite one. And the second Avengers,
hmm
and then Captain America Civil War.
Yeah,
So
you
the
have
two-
to watch Guardians.
Yes, that's
You
another
have to
one.
watch Guardians, and you have
If
to
I were to
watch.
watch Guardians like tonight, is it a movie I can watch?
Actually,
can I
he
it
could
by
watch.
myself
He
and
could
it's
watch
not gonna-
Guardians.
Standalone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could
that's
watch
what I-
Guardians without ruining nothing.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's the one I'm most looking forward to watching right now.
It's
It's
amazing.
really good.
There's
So
also
good.
something-
That's what everybody says.
You have to bear in mind, watch through the credits.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
never just
That's with all
turn
the
it off
Marvel
at
movies, right?
Yes, all of them.
Yeah,
You watch right through till the disc
I always
ends or
just
whatever.
like fast forward.
Yeah.
And then go back a bit.
You
but-
got to watch Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Be-
That's the standalone.
You have to watch Doctor Strange. It's not out on Blu-ray yet. No, it's not. It's not out on
It just
Blu-ray
left
yet.
the theaters recently, but I mean, Cumberbatch has me hooked. I like anything he's in.
You're a
so.
Cumberbitch.
Yeah. Well, so am I.
I'm a
I watched all the
Cumberbitch, yeah, not
Sherlocks.
like Nick. Nick's a big Cumberbitch, but
All the Sherlock Holmes
Oh,
series.
Those are good.
Awesome.
I've watched. Excuse me, sorry about that. I've watched the first two series so far. There's
They're
series.
amazing.
Did the fourth series come out yet? There was supposed to be a fourth
It's
one.
on the
there
BBC,
was-
but it's not over here.
They
on
did
Netflix.
they always put out. It's
Like
like
a
Doctor
bitch.
Who. They always put out an episode at Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, okay.
so they did one episode, and I did see one show from 2016, 2017.
You just mentioned something there I cannot get into. Is Doctor Who.
And me neither.
I
really.
can't. I just can't.
It's just
It's like it's a great premises,
Yeah.
but I just can't bring myself to watch it. I've watched a couple episodes of newer Doctor Who. You know,
yeah. Me
by
too.
newer I mean the last 5 years, not like from the '60s. But
Yeah,
I can't. It's just it's something I should like, but for some reason I
Yeah,
just can't.
That's exactly
can't
how
get
I feel.
into it.
Just because
And
it's
nothing against the
sci-fi.
show.
got David Tennant. It's
Well-
really well written.
David Tennant now.
No,
It was-
not David Tennant. Now it's
The first one was
Yeah, it's another guy now.
what was his
There
name?
was
Well, there's been like 14 doctors.
Christopher Eccleston, the guy in 28 Days Later, the
Yes,
sergeant.
Christopher.
Then it was
It's
David Tennant.
The new series
And then it
starts
was
with
Matt Smith.
Christopher.
Okay.
And then Matt Smith, and then there was some sort of Dave Capaldi or some old guy.
Yeah,
Then it's going to be
Peter Capaldi.
the ancient one from Doctor Strange, the Mrs.
what?
Yeah,
Really?
Tilda Swinton is her name. She's going to be the
Really?
next Doctor.
Okay.
Because you know the
yeah,
way social
see,
justice warrior is.
I
Don't get me wrong.
I
She looks.
just-
It's interesting, and she has a very British look. Think about the doctors.
she does. Yeah,
She looks like David Bowie.
No, I thought, yeah,
kind
kind
of
of
does.
between
Yeah.
David Bowie and David Tennant.
Yeah.
And,
That kind of-
she kind of has like a. She's like the love child of Tom York and David Bowie.
Oh my
From
God.
the picture I'm looking at on my phone,
Yep.
it's not attractive.
The super blonde, skinny, big nose, sharp nose mouse
Short
thing.
hair, the sharp nose, yeah, the cut jawline.
But see,
the
she's a really
Adam
good
Sandler
actress, and I would.
balls.
I want to see how that works out. She's,
But even like the love interest in when Eccleston was there was Rose. Have you seen what she looked like?
yes,
Like, she's a pretty girl. Don't get me wrong, but she's not like drop dead.
there's
You know what I mean? Like,
the most recent love interest.
she looks like she should be working over
She should be working in Mary Brown's.
Mary Brown's
McDonald's.
serving you chicken. She's a good looking girl, but it's not.
So she's going to be the next Doctor? Is that
No,
what
no,
you're
No,
saying?
not
she was
this. No, this is the girl that played Rose in the new
The
first
doctor-
season of the new stuff.
Doctor always has a companion. This woman
she-
that falls around and gets
Understood.
captured.
Okay.
And her name is
She's playing-
Rose.
That's where I got confused.
Yeah, she's like oh no, I got captured, and the doctor comes and saves
Yeah.
her.
And then she goes with him on his adventures for, I think it was two seasons.
And it was the
'cause
Christopher
two-
Eccleston, which was the first,
and then it was
the
David
second
Tennant.
was David Tennant.
So she was
there.
with David Tennant
And
till
then he kind of hops around between bitch to bitch. There's one like black missus who's stunning. Then he goes to some other British missus.
the
and
the missus the British missus that he goes to is actually
British.
the one that is in the
Guardians.
final season
Oh.
of The Office.
Yep.
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 Do you
The British Office or the American
the
Office?
American
American
Office?
Oh, okay. I must not have seen the final season of that show.
Yeah,
No, I don't think it was the
she's
final. I think it was the last two.
or
or something.
second last season. She's a redhead miss that comes in.
There was
And-
also one of his last companion, Amy Pond, was played by I don't know some missus. She is in Guardians of the Galaxy as Gamora's sister, the blue skin.
Oh,
That's one of the Doctor's companions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, Nebula.
Matt, did you know
Nebula.
that, David Tennant was in one of the Harry Potter movies as well?
I didn't because I haven't seen them.
He's
didn't
I know
remember.
you haven't seen him, but he's in Goblet of Fire, the fourth one. He plays. I'm not going to give away what he does because
It doesn't matter. They're old movies. You're not spoiling nothing. Oh, for him, yeah.
I mean, unless it's some really essential plot point that everyone's like, oh my god, Snape kills Dumbledore or something.
Well, David Tennant's
You knew that
character
anyway.
is not, going to ruin the movie, but I shouldn't say what he does, but
Well, then
basically,
keep it yourself.
yeah, I'll just keep it to myself. But he's in the movie, and he's not like he's the main character, kind of behind the scenes, quote behind the scenes during the whole movie. But you eventually see him at the end, and he's wonderful. He plays the part really well of Barty Crouch's son. Barty Crouch Jr. is the character's name, but
I
I like the guy, and I've seen him some other things. And
I did not know that Gary Oldman was in those.
Oh yes, he is.
Gary
He's one of the
Oldman
greatest
is
actors of
awesome.
all time.
Because
He's just awesome.
He
It
just
doesn't matter what he
changes
is.
when I see Gary Oldman, that's Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
but then you also got the guy
Yeah,
from The
I'm
Fifth
with you on
Element.
that,
You get the
sure.
guy from The
Yeah.
Professional. And you get the guy in Harry Potter.
It's Gary Oldman.
Dracula.
Yeah.
He's Dracula.
He was Dracula.
And he looked so weird in Dracula. He had that really
Welcome to
strange
my
look to him,
home.
but he was
Just
he was amazing. He played it well. That's-
If you were here, you could have seen Matt's face when he did that. It was
the most effort I ever put into
yeah.
an impersonation.
He did this mouth movement that I've never seen him do, and it was just
Hopefully you don't see me do many mouth movements.
well.
But yeah, like I said, if you want to jump off into the MCU, I'd start. I mean, Iron Man's optional, really.
Yeah, but they are fun.
Yeah,
They're really cool.
But yeah,
like, they're good movies. Robert Downey's a good actor. I mean, I will check them out.
Yeah, they're definitely worth
It's
watching.
on the list.
They're probably all
I
on
want
Netflix.
to watch the movies. I would prefer to watch it. A lot of them are. Yeah, I would prefer to watch them in order. But I kind of want to watch Guardians first, and then
definitely watch
maybe
Guardians
go back
first.
to the beginning to Iron Man and start and
But-
do the whole thing.
Guardians sets the bar pretty high.
Oh, it is so good.
That's what everybody says. Everybody says that Civil War is really good too. So
Yeah. But you have to work your way up to Civil War because it would make no sense going at it from another angle than
when they're talking in the Shield headquarters and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, Ultron, that was my fault." You're like, "What's Ultron?"
What's
You gotta
Ultron?
watch Age of Ultron.
You got to watch it
You know,
all.
and in Age of Ultron, you got to figure out what's going on with the Loki staff in the first Avengers.
That's
The
right.
Loki staff first Avengers. It was actually the Tesseract through Captain America first Avenger. Da 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 da. So it's like
You have to follow the progression.
Just talking about it. So.
Yeah, you have to follow the progression. It's no good to do it any other way.
But see now, the progression goes from this all the way up
But-
to the Infinity War.
Do you think the Thor movies are necessary?
Yeah. They're like optional, like Iron Man. Although they're good.
The first Thor movie
Yeah.
brings
He
them
sets up
into the
Loki.
MCU.
Yeah.
You have to watch the Thor movie too, because it brings in Loki. It brings
Well, I'm
in.
sure you know who Loki
although,
is, Jeff.
Yes, he's Tom Hiddleston, right?
Yeah,
Who plays him?
yeah,
Yeah.
That guy,
Okay.
he
I know
seems
what he
like
looks
he'd be a cool
Quack.
fucking guy to talk to.
to hang out with,
To hang out with. Like,
drink a
he's-
beer with.
You'd be like, "Man, is this your dad, Tom Hiddleston?" He'd be like, "Yeah." And I'd be like, "Yeah, what's up?" And it just seems like he'd be really down to earth because, I don't know, I find that with British actors, there's one of two things that like they can be. They can either be super stuck up and haughty and da-da-da, la-da-da,
Mhm.
or they can just be like, "Yeah, man, it's fine. What's up?"
What's
You know,
going
really
on?
down to earth, just chill out at the pub drinking a beer.
Let's go to the pub.
Or they can be like super high class, you know what I mean? That's what I think. That's what I
Let's go to the pub and have a pint.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that sounds like a fair description.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, to me, that's the way it seems because I know a lot of British people because my wife is British. And I don't know. It's just, to me, that's the way it would seem if you knew certain actors because a lot of actors you don't even know they're British. Like House. That guy's British.
And that time you met Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't happen.
I know.
No.
No,
I just
but we were drinking. I had to tell a little story. We're getting close to. We're actually 20 minutes over our usual time.
that's okay.
But I'm gonna tell you a story. Yeah, this story's got to happen. So after recording one evening, it was one of the episodes that it was just Matt and myself. Mike was still out of town on vacation, so we, like our usual time, we get some beers, we do some recording, and after we just shoot the
Quack.
after. Anyway, so we were talking, and Matt goes, yeah, I don't know how we got onto it, but he says, yeah, when I was out visiting my wife, I was going to say her name, sorry.
You can, I don't care.
When I was
Mrs.
on
Flowers.
Mrs. Flowers, I was out visiting Mrs. Flowers, we were actually walking along, and we bumped into Mr. Bean. And he's the
Mark
nicest
just
kind of
floored
guy.
when I said that.
I was like, what? What did you say?
You were floored. You're like,
I was
what,
like,
really?
what?
I'm like,
He goes, yeah, we bumped into him. He invited us in for tea, and we went into his house.
you
And,
believed it?
and we're going around. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I told him, I said, you didn't get no picture? Yeah, I got a picture, but it's on my other phone or something like that. Or Lissy has
That's
it or
where the
something.
red flag.
Yeah, but yeah, he went on until his wife came to visit this past December, and we were all at my kitchen table having dinner, and
Yeah, I know
I
where this-
brought up the point
Bean
that
story.
the day that he met Mr. Bean, and
She's like,
the look on her face was priceless.
And I started laughing, and I came clean. I was still laughing, and she was like shaking her head.
She just shook her head. She's no,
Why'd you say that? And I was like, I don't know, just something to say.
we didn't meet
Who's going to
Mr.
question
Bean.
that? You know,
Yeah, but I mean.
he seems like one of the actors that'd be really chill and down to earth.
Yeah, but I doubt he'll be just walking along and just
Although-
invite anybody in for tea.
He
but,
does
you
live in
know.
the village where my wife works.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a really small village.
Yeah.
He does live there.
Cool.
Okay, but you never met him.
No.
And you never went into his house for tea.
No.
And you
Well, I
never
did,
had
but he wasn't
cucumber
there.
sandwiches.
What?
You never had cucumber sandwiches.
I
with
actually
him.
did have, but not there.
But not with him.
They're surprisingly delicious. No, but no, I haven't.
Cream
Did
cheese.
he cook you a turkey?
Yeah, on his head, yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my all-time favorite Mr. Bean skits. Is him in the
Oh, yeah.
not from the movie, from the original show.
The shows are way
So-
better than the movies.
I find
Way
that
better. And the movie's great too, but yeah, the shows were just
Way
hilarious,
better.
man. Just absolutely
my
fantastic.
my favorite Mr. Bean clip would have to be the nativity in the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
You know, when he's making all the noise and like he's, you know, oh god, it's amazing.
They were
Dinosaur.
so
One of my favorite-
just funny. Just
My
straight
favorite
up funny.
scene is from one of the Christmas episodes. He was like walking through the street, and there were carolers and people playing like French horns and
Brass
trumpets
instruments.
and stuff, brass instruments. And he just walks over and he starts conducting the band, and
Mhm.
just like his motions and his face and the way he conducted the band
Yeah.
is just the way that guy can be
Moves.
so funny without
Yeah.
barely saying a word is a true testament to his ability.
Yeah.
He's basically like a Charlie Chaplin. You think of Charlie Chaplin
Yeah.
as this silent movie era who was so hilarious for his time. Rowan Atkinson's right there. He's that kind of guy. I mean, he barely. I mean, you watch an episode, you might say 2 words the whole time,
Bean.
and it's usually something like "Thank you" or "My name's Mr. Bean"
Right.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Amazing, fantastic.
But anyway, oh, excuse me. We should wrap this sucker up like a Christmas gift.
Yep.
So, you wanted to do some shout-outs before we ended off, Matt?
No, I'll do it in the beginning of next episode.
You'll do in the beginning. But anyway, thank you very much for coming on tonight with
Yeah, it
us,
was a good
Jeff.
chat, yeah.
Absolutely. Can I plug something real quick?
You go right ahead.
Obviously, I already mentioned my podcast, the Jeff Finch Experiment. One other thing real quick I wanted to bring up is I just recently started streaming video gaming and whatnot. Just started this week. So you can check me out on twitch.tv. My username is FinchJFX. That's FINCHJFX. So twitch.tv/FinchJFX. Next week, when the Nintendo Switch comes out, I will be heavily streaming. I'm going to stream my setup. I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to stream the actual like setup of the Switch on screen, options and all that. And then after that, I will be heavily streaming The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I thought you
So
said
if anybody...
you were gonna be like streaming you figuring out how to hook it up.
Well, yeah, I'm going to do that too, actually. I'm going to, on Facebook, I'm going to stream the unboxing and the physical hookup, to my TV and then hook it up to my computer through my capture card. I'm going to do all that. I'm going to stream it live. And then, later on in that particular, because that's next Friday, starting Saturday, when I get a chance to sit down and start playing Zelda, I will be streaming a lot of my gameplay. So anybody who's a fan of Zelda or Nintendo or just wants to watch a really ugly fat guy make a fool of himself, please check me out on my Twitch stream.
Well, I'm planning on grabbing that. I have a Wii U, so I'm going to be getting Breath of the Wild for the Wii U for sure. I'm very excited for that, and I'm excited for Cuphead. But if you haven't seen anything for Cuphead, go look it up. Go check out the gameplay footage. Cuphead. It's coming out for Xbox One and PC. But it's unbelievably cool looking. It's a run and gun. So, but anyway,
that's a good thing.
Yeah. So anyway, we should get going. Thanks for listening, everybody. Come back another time. We'll definitely be calling some more people now that we have this setup going on, and we can do it so easily. You got anything to say on the outro there, Matt?
No, but thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be adding a lot more content. I'll be starting new segments, revitalizing old segments, and recording some new stuff.
And anybody on the Android listening devices, we do have a way to listen to the podcast. If you don't have an iDevice, you can find us on iTunes, but there is a way you can grab the RSS feed from podcasts.com. If you type in podcast.com in your browser, it'll bring up an RSS feed. Just copy that sucker and throw it into your podcasting software. It will do the rest for you. Thanks everybody for listening, and have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you.